Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mughal Empire, which we now basically control, except for this one little enclave, almost the entire northern half of India. The entire half of India, almost, I should say, because I took a good look at Assam over there, which one would assume that would be the next target, while at the same time we will continue to integrate our vassals, such as Sind over there, so I can have a little more control to the coast, personally, in order to gain more of, what we need. But also now, this is a real issue. I know at the previous end of the episode for the Delhi Mughal series, which was probably one of the most controversial acts I've ever done, at least to me personally, and some of you viewers may feel that way too, of what I'm trying to say here. I gave away some crown land by giving all the privileges as much as I can for both the Brahmins and the Ulema. The Ulema are very loyal to us, and it's not going to go away anytime soon, unless that's due to the recent events, such as that influence there, but our next tide to be summoned will be in a couple of years, so by 1641, hopefully by then, we should get the Brahmins' loyalty back up, unless an event occurs to get their loyalty up. And I could care less about everybody else except for the Mansabdars. If I wanted their loyalty, the thing I would give them is that. Or even that, but here's the problem. One problem with this, besides the Crownlands issue, in which they say you can gain groundland by seizing land from estates, developing provinces, conquer land when having less 60% total influence of all the states, and conquer land when having high absolutism. I mean, there's a few provinces I could develop, like Ajma, for example. But this is just due to this mission that I really wanted to do badly, and that's Fatehpur Sikri. And also soon we'll be, going down south pretty soon. Which of course, that means we're going to fight against the Bahmanis, which I recently broke the alliance with them, which will fight them in 5 years. But if I were to break royal ties, there goes the stability. And another thing that I've also been considering is thinking about getting rid of this idea group and replace it with humanist. But however, that would also land force similarities to 100. Yeah, it says have at least 200 regiments worth. Even though we don't have that much, but you get the idea. 2,000 each month. And as far as the land force limit's concerned, that's what they were talking about. That amount. 279 out to 200. Like, even if I were to get rid of that, I wouldn't start the Golden Era. Which originally I had plans to start the Golden Era when the mission of Fatehpur Sikri will be complete. But it can only be enacted by a country once in a campaign. And there's no way that I would be completing all of these in the next stage, which is too far away to be thinking about it, but I guess it would be best to start here. But of course, if you get rid of an idea group, you'll refund all that military power back. Well, 10% of the monarch points spent on it. Even though that's about to be spent with this next level here. So might as well. So now we can build star forts. So there, now you are ahead of time. And of course we took a bit of income penalty, because of the low crown length. As well as a thought of, well, promoting this advisor more. So that way we can, you know, get more administrative power, all that tech in a hurry. If I am really anxious to, as I said, get rid of this and go for the humanist idea, which you will have the religious unity finally. So we'll just rely on conversions a lot less. And less unrests to go around. Separatism. Promoted culture isn't needed, but more importantly, it's this. The Brahmins' loyalty is an important one. And reduce cost of ideas so we can get even more ideas in a hurry. Such as these two we're currently working on. Or should I really get rid of it? Should I? You know what? Since you've got all this administrative power and you are still far ahead of time. But you know what? Let's do it. One more. And you may want to save that money because one day you're going to have this institution embraced. Whenever it gets here eventually. As long as you keep it stable as well. Have a land force limit of at least 200, so yeah, that did get rid of that. It says that you can achieve that right now, but don't worry about it, because later in the century, when we expand even more, that land force limit will go up. So go for humanist. So you have to start over from scratch. That's one for religious unity, which I know it's gone all the way up, and thus we don't have to worry about conversions anymore. So I will implement a golden era later in the century when we expand further south. Or build more regimental camps. Which you'll get that just fine. And now less national unrest, and we have that stability cost modifier, so we're back on. For that technology cost. Had to do it. Because our country is already strong enough, even though our manpower has really knocked down, but I don't think we're going to be experiencing wars anymore that would give us horrific casualties. No. Those days of quantity that's dated back from the Delhi Sultanate are over. And of course that means I lost that policy I once had. And cannot enact any of them because you have not completed any of those ideas, which I'm in no rush, quite honestly. What, you still probably want to save up for that because you still want to build that navy. And yes, it took a significant drop since you got rid of that land maintenance modifier. And as well as, you know, given more cost to it. And I can't promote them any further, as much as I would like to. If you want more ideas, might as well. One more promotion. Although I could do it all the way, but do you have any idea how much it's going to cost us? Any amount of income? You're not gonna make as much money as you used to. Even with the gold that you got recently. But what's more important? Completing this fast as possible? All because you want to please the Brahmins. By completing that humanist idea. Equilibrium's currently at 54, that's where it's gonna go. So you better hope for the next that you gotta appeal to the Brahmins, whatever. Build a manufactory, build a temple, anything. Gotta do it for them. And hopefully we stay loyal to the Ulema. Which the current equilibrium is 61. So that's good. How old is that advisor? Well, any of these could pass time, so yeah, screw it. Okay, we can't promote them any further. And I might as well go for this for the next 20 years. So that way we'll be getting these ideas in a hurry. Let's save the diplomatic ideas. And of course, this lessens the chance of any uprisings, such as this one's gonna go away. And so will that one. So we're changing the character of this nation. It's all because of feeding this man's ego to move to here. But we need the Brahmins to help us out here. And plus, it gains a bit of development. It's 52 development in Delhi. This, a little less, but it'll jump up. Let's move there. So there you have it. More controversial acts. But I think it'll be worth it in the long run. But does that mean that I will not have the golden arrow just for not completing that objective? While the Hanafi school is a... Actually, that's 2 events at the same time. Hang on. Oh yeah, the mysticism thing. Oh. Well, 1, they'll be more loyal. Yeah, the Ulema will still be loyal to us. How much is that? That's 10, so that'll be 58. And those areas that have claims to... Yeah, these areas of claims to would be up by 25. Which I can use that to 75 towards legalism. To... which would drop down back to that way. So it'll start going their way. So he will have to do his preaching elsewhere. And I do want to fight a little bit of small wars. But I'm willing to appoint whomever they may face. Dhoti and Kathmandu. You two stop drilling. We're appointing 2 armies. If you stand by. Because they're in the middle of drilling too. Because I've always wanted to fight a few more small wars. But anyways, well, the Ulema are going to stay loyal no matter what. It's just we need to start working with the Brahmins in that one. So forget about the small wars thing. Can use Muslim party interaction. It'll move us 50 towards mysticism. We'll be going back to that way. That's what I was trying to do. Oh, in that case. Yes, corruption's been added, and we will get rid of said corruption. Now we're going to start moving back that way Now that the Ulema are super loyal to us. Gotta start going more towards that way now. But to do that, forget about the small wars thing. The only way to get that legalism up. Not them, they're Shia. It would be them. And them. Because it'll start moving towards mysticism by a little bit for the time being. But I would much rather do a humiliation war rather than take Samarkand. Not interested in Samarkand yet. Percentage is only very little, so there's no rush here. What else are we going to be dealing with? Great Ord, yeah, that ain't going to be much. And Hormuz, well, you know how I feel about them. Let me see. Attitude towards enemies. That means if we can make them like us more, then, and of course you can't tell them to break an alliance. I really am not in the mood to fight these guys. Because you know how long that's going to take. And plus our navy is out there. Which means I would force them back in the port. Knowing that their navy is larger than ours. Because we don't have any heavy ships yet that we've invested in. But in that case, put yourself there. You're going to be in position. And you're not going to face too many uprisings, so... I would say, as you were. Stop. We'll figure out what to do with you next. Instead, we'll be deploying these two. They don't have much manpower, but these two armies will be deployed there. Possibly 3. Knowing that it's wide range. You know what? Nuwari. Kochi. Most of that's going to be west, so... We're deploying you two to deploy security. Basically. Until in position, start the war. $55. Okay, that's good enough, because when you summon that diet, then loyalty will be back up. And yes, that really hurts to max up to and I will one day get rid of these privileges when our mission's complete, which it will be. Revolt. High taxes, cultural and religious differences cause unhappiness among our citizens. If this continues, it will drastically affect the stability of our nation. I'd say ignore them. Yeah, that's over there. Remember, saving it up. while I will be getting as much humanist ideas as much as I can. As I said, we're changing our nation's character. Instead of being an oppressive, proletizing nation, that we've realized that there's no way we can convert all the Hindus of the entire subcontinent. And we're lowering our quantity. So no, you cannot start the golden era. But we will, at a later age. A later part of this century. Because I'm going to humiliate Bukhara. That's my plan. And then once this is done, once we're done humiliating them, you better give me all the damn money that you have. Because I am willing to invest in more regimental camps. That increases the land force limit. As well as that subsequent war against the Bahmanis. I will get my crownland back one day. But we're not here for territory yet. In position. Yes, declaring war on the fellow city would move us more towards mysticism. Even though it's 0.2 each month. And that's a bit problematic. A bit. As I say. And yet, he's only 26. It feels like he's already Akbar the Great, except 50 years too late, one would think. We're going to beat him up and get the money. Let's start. Alright, who's the siege master? You go up there. We'll be heading straight to Bukhara, and we will have your back. One moment. Alright, move up. The enemy's already there. Old castle. Again, the objectives just take their capital. They're on the move. Surround them. Stay back. If they attack en masse, we'll join them. About to get some of them. Well, very little at all, actually. Chase them down. Boy, you got up fast. Well, be sure to take care of that. Get up there. Three-star general, but yet too small competition. you know what I mean? They got galleys, they got light ships, they got heavy ships. We don't have that kind of firepower. Oops. Proliferation of the musket. As firearms have grown commonplace, our old regiments of elite troops no longer fills the same functions as sharpshooters and pioneers. They've done much to develop our armies over time, and they'll now be dispersed among our other regiments. So we gained some professionalism, but the elite regiments will be gone, which is good, because that would increase very good on the army maintenance. So everybody's using muskets now. But muskets, the usage of muskets in India isn't as widely used as people think. Even on the best days of the Mughal Empire, that muskets were still not widely used. What I mean is they were still using swords, spears, maces, bows and arrows and all that. They were still using that, even all the way up to the Indian Revolt of 1857-58. Some sort of propaganda text circulating in the court about how Babur is a ruthless powermonger. This might impact our relations with subjects in other countries. Damn, just embrace the reputation. I'll take the hit. Now we're at a standstill. Now we can have standardized uniforms. But not right now. Or is it? Here it is. That's why. At least we're slowly becoming more professional army by the day. Even though we're way over the limit on that, but hey, it's still... I'm sure they're gonna keep growing in size. You know, since they only go one way, so... Pull back. We need all the heavy firepower we need from the Rajputs. Well, this will stay back and deal with any... Hey, back off. Get away from me. We've taken the objective. Form up. We'll take them on together. Kish has been taken. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Stay back. Won't be able to catch them here. Just take some I can. Stick together. Wait for the fourth army to come. Spread out. Yeah. As soon as we get this done, we'll have more discipline, and I will use that policy for that. Again, it's still relatively early unless I knock the Great Order out of that war. You know what? You're gonna do that job, just that. Knock the Great Order out of the war. And the Rajputs will take their place. don't venture off too far. We fight the past, it fights back. Dedication to a more liberal understanding of the place of the citizen and the state means that our neighbors have branded us as a rogue nation, committed to undermining the traditional rights of crown, church, and guild. Can we only trust those that think as we do? Forward, even if alone. Little more towards mysticism, but every opinion of our neighbors don't like that. So one would think we're becoming more isolated by the day. 57 right now. While we continue to lower legalism more and more. The easiest thing would be in the world would be that, but I'd be giving away even more crown land than I should. But once that mission's achieved, I am going to revoke these privileges away from them, since they're very loyal to us thanks to these events. And also got to start appealing to the Mansabdars. Well, it may not take that long. In fact, it could be achieved in 2 years. Just summon the diet, and they're with you. Hopefully. Where did the Bakharan army go? Integration of the Rajput nobility. Rajput nobles are a common sight at the court of Mughals, though it is becoming increasingly difficult to distinguish them and the other courtiers that take their home in Delhi. The Rajputs at court have been thoroughly integrating into Mughal aristocratic society, going so far as to learn the Persian language, observe Mughal courtly etiquette, and personally accompany Babur wherever he goes. This is leading to the loss of distinctly Rajput voice at court, as these nobles become more concerned with their personal advancement than in the interest of the Rajput community. They care about loyalty, not influence, so basically I could care less. And plus I like the Rajputs more, so discourage the integration, give them a little more influence. Balance it out here. Even though that hurts the manpower recovery speed. But hey, a little more influence of that than Fort maintenance. That's what it's for. I just need the war score to be high enough just to humiliate them and take their money, which I'm willing to invest. Whichever direction it takes them, we'll deal with them. Old age. In fact, there's room for one more. Not as good as what we got out of this. You'll be leading this. And you'll be leading that one. Does anyone else have war? No. Where the heck are they? That's the real question. Come on, fall. Got him. We'll be engaging the enemy there. And don't forget that money should also be invested in the Navy as well as the that damned institution. That alleged institution. It's trying to get here. But when we take integrate Sind, which will take a while, it'll happen. But it'll increase even further when this goes away. You want out? Okay. Just reparations and all treaties. Yes, thank you. Very little ducats. But it's gonna need a lot more. Oh my goodness, get away from there. That's where they are. We gotta defeat them. You've taken enough territory. Form up. They're heading this way. Probably go down the southern route. Can't make up my mind on where to go because there's so many of them out there. More than I anticipated. But if they're heading to Herat, then good. I'll slow them down a little. But our best troops are still out there. Oh, there they are. Heading to Bijan. They're likely going down that way. We need to win a couple of battles. That's how much it's gonna take. I know a lot of our forces should not be there, but split up. You two go up there. Of course there's no leader. Just keep going all the way that way. And then we'll just take the long way around. Shoot! This way. Protect the trade. If they move, you move. We'll be engaging them here in the mountains. This may open the door. They haven't bothered reclaiming their territories. The war enthusiasm is medium, but we need to win a big battle. A decisive one. They have the manpower to keep up. Just barely remembered. Since I was so into this war. Don't worry about it. Just get these as quickly as you can. Just one more year. Get moving. Just as suspected. That got him. Royal marriage is ended, and we're not going to go back with them anytime soon. Move on. We'll crush them here. Start occupying a few more. Oh, crud. Well, as soon as you summon that dud, their influence will go back up. We'll get to work on it. War enthusiasm medium. You want out? No, they say. Just give chase. Let them open again. I don't know if that's a good idea. Because you're letting the one with the lowest morale to go up there first. But we'll follow. Don't you worry. Honestly, it needs one more general. Much better. Again, it's 4 fire, 2 shock, 5 maneuver, siege 1. Much better. Keep going in after him. You'll eventually catch him. We'll catch him here. Problem is, it's mountains, as with every other place in the Iranian plateau. Just defeat him in a decisive battle, and then we'll begin negotiations, hopefully. We don't intend to occupy all the country. No, we don't intend it to make it as such. Just one more year. Some will get away. Or we're gonna go back down and meet with them. Just win, win, win. Our efforts to maximize trading profits in the area of Lahore is borne fruit in the province of Lahore. Our entrepreneurs have managed to greatly increase the outputs of taffeta and have found new markets in our capital for the processed goods. Well, what do you know? Now it's up to 25. If it wants to, we can upgrade it to World Trade Center. No need for that. Of course. Harvest failure. The spice harvest in one of our spice producing regions failed, though not badly. However, production will be reduced to this. Well, morale is good. We'll kill him again. Now their war enthusiasm is low. I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to come back in peace. What do you need? I'm not here for territory. Pillage. Truce with the Bahmanis expire next year. And doesn't cause too much aggressive expansion. How much is that? They'll lose 7 development. We gain 6. 6 development. That's rather tempting. And that's quite possibly the last time I'll ever develop Delhi this way. And yet they say developing will give you a tiny bit of crown. Remember, 25.26. And look at the amount of money we be getting. Too bad we don't have the means to humiliate them. Because humiliate would cause, you know, more power projection, but we'll gain 3 power projection. But I'll come after you next time. Got it? Just wanted to humiliate you as an excuse to, you know, have that little bit of a go towards mysticism. So you head down this way. Go down that way. And back down this way. And you get back over here. $25.26. It did not increase. Guess you have to develop it yourselves, not to, you know, freaking pillage it. I'm sure it's not all the development went to Delhi. Some of that went to Panipat and Upper Doab. That's where some of that went also. Keep that well in mind. But we got this great wealth. You want to up your force limit? And where are we in this? As soon as this is present here, very good. Integrating Send would be even better. Which it'll be for another couple of years. I mean, after all, you want to get all these ideas in a hurry. Including this next level. And then we'll start building heavy ships from there. To really care more about the Navy. And all that. Okay. Let's build some of these now. But only build it in provinces that is said to have improvement amount. What's the difference between 120? I mean, shortcut, for example. Oh yeah, cannot shortcut you. That's what they mean by that. But it's all gonna be 111, so. It's only about 220s. The rest are 160. Just do it. Stop at 4,000. Or just above it. Yeah, one more. Okay. See y'all next year. And we'll have that land force back up to 200, so we don't need quantity ideas anymore. But if you really care about the maximum amount of manpower reserves, build more barracks. Or improved versions of it. Since there's training fields now, which they exist out there, that are upgradable, but not right now. June 23rd. Remember the date. Once it's summoned, we will have the influence and all that again. As these troops will be marching home and take less attrition damage, be making all that good income again. No, because you're being integrated. Siamese Revolution. As our ties with the Westerners grow, there are many live in Ayutthaya. Ayutthaya, that's how you pronounce it, I believe, who view the foreigners with suspicion. Their fears are many. Some believe that the Spanish diplomats are solving us in preparation for their invasion, while others see Catholic missionaries as a threat to the Theravada faith. While merchants are concerned that our deals with Europeans are disadvantageous commercial interests, anti-European sentiment is growing rapidly in the lands, and the situation is starting to come to a head in the near future, so not or less stable. Over there, at least. Even though I have no issues with them, I don't view them as a threat. At least not yet. Mystics and storytellers. A little more towards mysticism. Go back. Where do you stand now? 58. Again, it's good enough when you, as soon as you summon a diet, their influence goes up too, and everybody's happy. And so will the Mansabdars. We may achieve 2 missions in 1, actually. So it doesn't matter what mission you're going to give it to them, as long as it benefits them in the long run. Hey, get moving. This way. June 23rd is coming. Great advisor died, a master recruiter, a military man. Just as when we were about to get another idea off of that. Too bad we don't have anyone better at this time, otherwise it'll be too pricey. But we'll get this next one a little later, so don't worry about that. Just worry about getting another this idea, and then that idea, because you are still pretty far ahead of time on that. So I would say get 2 more ideas, and then save it up for this, because governing capacity increase, Even though we've given them privileges, which I will soon revoke some of these when the mission is complete. No matter how loyal they are, I'm going to need some of them back. The Crown Land must be returned to the Empire. June 23rd. Okay? Slow. 3, 2, 1. Yes, it's 5 influence and 5 loyalty. It's going to be enough to achieve this mission. Yes, it will be enough. Give me a moment. So again, that's due to when we get our Crown Land back. Our tax modifier and absolutism will start going back up, and subsequently revoking some of their privileges, so we can get some benefits out of this. Stop moving and start drilling. All of you drill. Stop. Drill. I need some armies drilled while you two are still on your way back, because I know some armies aren't even drilled at all. What's their navy like? Inferior. Tech trade in Gujarat again. Okay, I was about to sneeze here. Okay. Even though Central Doab is the place where the Third Army, led by Babur, who is the ruler of the land here. I mean, it's great of how developed Delhi is, but we believe it's time to move to here. Because we encourage development, prosperity, World Trade Center here. Home of the Taj Mahal. We believe it's that time. Summon the Diet. Yes, the mission is complete, but anyways, Brahmins urge us to build a magnificent house of worship in Lower Doab so that their followers may have an adequate place to congregate in the province. The Mansabdars can't be helped by the vulnerable target presented by our neighbors at Pegu. Push for a military campaign to bring them under our dominion. The Rajputs are casting a jealous eye on Tripura, an area they claim that would make a fine addition to our nation. They call for a military campaign to secure part of ourselves. So, what you're saying is, take over that area, you say subjugate, and the Brahmins say build a great mosque, which is in actuality a Hindu house of worship for next 30 years in Florida. Yeah. It's not just a mosque, but a great mosque, they say. And it would have a little bit of base tax up. So, lower. That's down here. Well, it is part of what we're about to... Base tax is already good there. Might as well. So I will accept your proposal, and we will build that great mosque here. In fact, upgrade it to that. That's what they meant. It'll be done in a year's time. And now, in this fertile land here, yes, fertile land of a farmlands here, as it is farmlands in Delhi. Even though it kind of looks like it's a stone's throw away from here, but it's where the Taj Mahal is. So, this is the day, June 23rd, 1641. Our realm is one of many faiths and have been so since its very conception. Relying on the loyalty of just our co-religionists have therefore always been out of a question. We must instead promote religious discussion and debate so that any difference can be settled in a more peaceful manner. Let us build a new capital, near the great city of Agra, a wonder of Mughal architecture to display the full glory of our dynasty, but also designed to hold many faiths of our empire. A specifically created house of worship for religious debates between Jains, Hindus, Christians, Zoroastrians, and any other faith within our borders will allow us to fully explore the spiritual world. So yes, we completed these 3 missions that we worked so hard for. And we worked very hard to get the Ulema and the Brahmins to side with us. We have built the great mosque here. Central Doab is... it's like one of these must be true. Capital province? Not quite, but we do have a courthouse here. Or a town hall, that's upgraded version. So, we're moving Delhi to Central Doab, which Central Doab will be renamed Fatehpur Sikri, the City of Victory. And plus we gain +4 development in 2 base tax and 2 base production. And we'll get the City of Victory until the end of this playthrough, lowering the development cost even more, so we can just compete with Delhi. It's great of how developed it was even when we pillaged Bukhara up there. Well, let's give this land some love. And plus the construction costs will be reduced when we develop all this more and upgrade these 2 buildings, since this is going to be an important capital to us. Again, upgraded marketplace, workshop, textile manufacturing, training fields. And I already told to encourage development, so it'll do. And it is prosperous. Spend 100 government progress. You know, we have all this. So centralize it in most of our provinces, reducing its governing costs, and it will take 5 years. Okay. That's just one little effect that I decide to do that, but they said it'll take 5 years to centralize it. And this place is, you know, the seat of the strong aristocrats. That this is the seat of our royal spouse, which I believe... yes, it's the one with the same last name, but we're not sure if we're related. They have not indicated as such. Even though she's 40. Well, named Afghan, all that. Country of origin, Mughals, here, obviously. And my son is about to be 15 either this year or the next year. For Shah Alam. The future ruler of this great empire. Which I'll be the first ruler and he'll be the second ruler to move to this new residence. So here we go. See, now it's named Fatehpur Sikri, part of Central Doab province. So now it's our new capital, and it's our new main trade city. Well, realistically, it's where World Trade Center is. Helps with everything, and look at the amount of we can do. City of Victory. Of course, first order of business is to upgrade the marketplace just to have even more trade power here. Once we're done with that, fortify these defenses to a star fort. The first star fort will be built here, so no one can touch it. No one will touch our new capital. No. And also on this same day, we've completed this mission as well, because we have enacted Mughal Divan, Mansabdars system, and a Zapt system. We are an empire, a very stable empire, and the Mansabdars' loyalty, they're with us. The time has come to do away with the trappings of old religions Instead, we must elevate our Padishah to the status of divine and make all the higher nobles his direct disciples. This divine faith will allow us to form a stronger bond with all those that serve the state than kinship or religion ever could. The Din-i Ilahi, the divine faith, is what it means. And the sorority you move more towards mysticism. The Mansabdars estate will get much more loyalty to Kaburium for the next 30 years. And in those 30 years, it's the divine faith, which increased tolerance of heathens and more yearly legitimacy. So now I'm Akbar the Great in a sense, but instead, ironically, it's the name Babur, which one would think is named after the real founder of the Mughal Empire. But yet, we're still Afghans. Whereas the historical Mughals, as I've already said before in this series, were Uzbeks. But they were Indianized under Akbar. So that's why I said we must change this nation's character. Now we have to go more towards humanist policies. We were a quantity military, but we're changing it to quality. We are changing the nation's character. But anyways, we'll have cultural ties next. No, excuse me, indirect rule. Once it's complete, it'll be much faster to get ideas because I really am anxious to get more of this. And all that. But now I will tell you about what is the Din-i Ilahi. Because I know there are some viewers of my channel who don't know too much about Indian history or Mughal history, in fact, on this part. The current party, yes, it's still under legalism, but we're starting to go back towards mysticism, which will help with the Brahmins to be more loyal to us, as the Ulema are already very loyal to us. But adds more missionary strength, morale of armies, and defense. Start going more towards that way again. And so therefore, this is our current now. You know we will be going to war soon again, and that'll be against the Bahmanis. Despite the happiness that's been taking place here, and I will be revoking one of these privileges. Yeah, just at least one. Just pick one. Like, whom did you give away this land to? I mean, that's their influence. Absolutism. Yes, I gave them oversight, because I need some of that absolutism back. So it's like, as much as I appreciate their loyalty, and that stability cost modifier, well, there's no need for that. But that religious unity thing, yeah, that's no longer necessary. Maybe. Because I did say I really want to stop converting this country to Islam and just... let's just work together, alright? Can't we all just get along? But particularly the ones that I gave away my crown lands to, and I need some of them back. Such as these land rights. So that's one. This still has its uses. I could have just easily seized that land back, but I think it would be better just to revoke some privileges. And then, what else? I mean, don't worry about it, they'll get over it. Yeah, that also needs to be rid of. Brahmin Council. Well, just get rid of one, right? And you'll have some of that back when you complete this mission. Got it? So we don't have that crownland back. We could have just seized the land. So we had everything there. Could have just done that. But by expanding the country and developing a little more, it'll help. So now you can convert if you wish to, but there's no need for that right now. So it's about time that Muslims and Hindus start working together, as well as the, the Sikh minority and Buddhists. So there's no need to convert anymore. And those Brahmins will be loyal to us again when we complete Humanist Ideas. And as well as a reduction of idea costs. We used to have, something like that regarding national tax modifying. We gotta put that. Okay, one thing's for certain of the policies when I finished all of these, I would add this, that, and that. That's what I would add. Those are the first ones. But at least absolutism will start going back up now. Just a little bit. Well, now, let me tell you. As it says, we have built a new city here to serve as the capital of the empire of all faiths and peoples. A true show of greatness of our dynasty. Brotherhood and unity has come to Hindustan. At least, as far as we're concerned. But if I had a little more military power, I would definitely have to spend that development on getting the military maximum manpower up. As great as the production and the base tax is, but this is just way under. Needs to get to work. But anyways, I'll tell you real quick. The Din-i Ilahi, the religion of God in the Persian language. It's also known as divine monotheism, literally oneness of God, or divine faith. It was a syncretic religion or spiritual leadership program propounded by the Mughal Emperor Akbar in 1582. That's when it was made. And yet in 1641 here in this playthrough we finally got it. It was intended to merge some elements of the religions of his empire, and thereby reconcile the differences that divided his subjects. The elements were primarily drawn from Islam, Hinduism, and Zoroastrianism, but some were also taken from Christianity, Jainism, and Buddhism. It's a syncretic religion, they say, but some scholars kind of dispute that. They think it's not really a new religion that Akbar was trying to create. It's a misconception because of the erroneous translation of Abu al-Fazl's work later by British historians. So it was more of a he saw the religious views of Akbar as a rational decision towards maintaining harmony between the various faiths of the empire. So it's kind of arguable that was he trying to create a new religion, or was he just decide to appeal to things and come up with something that would appeal to... look, the common people never accepted this fate. I don't think it was meant for the masses. I think it was just for him and the upper court of his. As it says, it's to make the Padishah and the higher nobles his direct disciples. Because the members of the divine faith that occurred in real life was only about 21. The 21 members. There were also several influenced followers. And of course this also led to that, this was also that time when the Ibadat Khana, house of worship that was created in Fatehpur Sikri in 1575. Which I don't have that yet. Which you have to complete innovative ideas, which, come to think of it, maybe we should go for innovative ideas next. But not right now, because that administrative category, 50% of your current idea groups are in the same category. I mean, you already have that, that, and that, so maybe at a later time, much later in the playthrough in the 1700s, that we should go for innovative ideas. But hey, reduces technology institution embracement costs, since we could never get it in. Why haven't we think of that before? Leaders of Anarchy, why didn't we think of that before? Damn it, I'm falling behind on such things, but still. Okay, so you got 3 of these idea groups then. You did say you want trade ideas, knowing you're an ever-expanding empire. You got rid of quantity, and you favor quality these days. So, I would go for trade, which would be the next one, to send merchants all over the place to get even more income of this ever-growing empire. And then, maybe after that, just maybe, innovative. If not, go for offensive. Possibly aristocratic, either of the two. Or no military idea, and I guess innovative. It's gotta go somewhere. I'm not gonna get rid of economic nor administrative. They're a big priority to me. So that's my plans. And so I will continue on this episode just a little bit. I will stop this episode before we declare war on the Brahmanis. I wanted that episode to be about this mission. And also, one day, when everybody's all loyal and happy, get the Crownland back. Although I could right now, but rebels may rise up in any estate that drops below 30 loyalty, so you probably want to get them back up to 50 in future. But I don't think you should worry too much. As soon as you complete the humanist idea. No unrest. No unrest starting to go away. Because we've learned to cooperate with the Hindus. Again, it will remain a Hindu majority country. And when... So basically, do it when their loyalties are at their 50s. For everybody. For everybody. And then we'll develop the land more. Especially Fatehpur Sikri. Slow down here. A Sufi sheikh has passed away in Jalalabad, and his followers are now putting up a shrine in his honor. Pilgrims from various parts of the country are already starting to come to the province to see the shrine of this great man. Some are calling him a saint. Local notables have set aside charitable donation its maintenance, and his former pupils have opened a lodge nearby. While there is nothing wrong with honoring a great man, some of the more traditionalists among the pious and the ulema feel that this form of worship is sacrilegious. Should Babur pay the shrine at Jalalabad, a visit might do much, both for the prestige of the shrine itself, but also for its popular perception. Administrative cost reduction? That's rather tempting. I mean, tolerance of true faith and heretics is up enough. But Jalalabad to have a Sufi shrine and you get a tax income and some autonomy change and all that. It would be nice to have, but but moving a little bit more towards legalism. I mean, we already got the Brahmins on the side, but the loyalty is starting to go back all the way up to the 50s. You'll be fine. So we must not feed into local superstition. You thought I was going to go all the way with mysticism. Not quite. We might go back to legalism in a moment. Because remember, get the Ulema loyalty at least back up a little more. And then, maybe... and then maybe we'll just... you know, get it back up to 50. So let's try to balance it out here. Especially more balanced when you complete Humanist. Because we're still on our way up there. And then everything will be alright. It will be fine again. Definitely well on our way. Hey. Well, actually, since you don't have a claim on Jarkhan, don't worry about that later, honestly. Just only take the lands that you have the relevant objective to for the next war coming in the next episode. While meanwhile we will expand, and the real golden era of the Mughals will truly begin. And it also ups the max absolutism a bit. So every little bit of it helps. Competition for the Padishah's favors. Our heir is a tactical genius. We gotta put you in the army, son. I heard this from his father. Two great tactical geniuses. So land maneuver up. We got our siege man. But anyways, it's no secret that Babur hold the Afghan people dear to his heart, that he speaks the Hindavi language with a distinct Afghan accent. I don't even know how that sounds like to me, honestly. I don't hear enough of the Afghan or Pashtun language enough, since I know a lot of Hindi in particular, as far as exposure to it. Babur even surrounds himself with Afghan advisors and courtiers, something that has not gone unnoticed by the old Hindavi families in our country. Our court philosopher, an old champion of traditional Hindavi values, has increasingly come to be at odds with Babur's policies. Now is about to withdraw from the royal counts. He leaves our court. Oh, no, I need him. It's for the humanists we're trying to work on. Let's try to remedy this situation. We'll take the hit. But don't forget, you're going to need some of that administrative power. Not only to level this up in the future, but to core these provinces of the gains that we'll be making in the next episode. Remember, next mission, we must control these areas that are highlighted here. Almost there, but I think expanding the territory will be enough. Now all you need is upgrade your barracks to have more manpower. Since you got rid of quantity. You did say you want to change the nature of this nation, so... Stop drilling in April. Okay. You're fine. You start here. No more separatism. I need the best over here. In fact, since my heir is said to be a tactical genius, you have 4 fire, 3 shock, 1 maneuver, 1 siege. Sign you in this one. Now come, son. We'll stop the drilling soon. Come on down. Not quite there yet, but in a year or so we will have it. Don't worry about that. That uprising is not going to happen under our watch. So mobilize to the border. We no longer have a royal marriage. We're no longer allies. And then that'll be it for them. We won't be able to annex them. But they don't like Vijayanagar, neither do we. But they're becoming a thorn on our side. Hey! Step aside. To your starting positions. Obviously there's a hill there, so whoever's got the siege guild is the man to do it. But again, we will begin this war, and now the Brahmins are loyal to us again. Now that we completed this house of worship, and the next one we'll summon will be in 1646. All I need now is to get them back up to 50 when we will move back to legalism, which will happen once we declare war against the Bahmani because they're Shia. Actually, one small delay. So, actually, that morale won't be back up all the way for all armies, especially this one, so 1 more month will do. Okay, 1 more month and then we'll stop this episode. Keep in mind, those under the influence of 60%, meaning that I will have some crownlands that I will be gaining in this war. And there better be damn well be some big gains. So even with the mysticism soon to be rid of, and those privileges that I've given them, even with the land rights and all that, come think of it, you know, that's regarding, you know, crownlands versus, you know, loyalty and all that. I mean, I would love to seize it now, but they would not like that. But then again, I had the Ulema really hate me back then, but that's all in the past. And I would love to have the Rajput support as well, including promoting Rajasthani culture. But at least we're starting to make all the good money again, but more so when we start taking more territorial gains. So yes, everybody is ready. And we hope you people are ready for the next episode. But in the next episode, as I said, we're going across the Vindas. That's where we're going next. In which we will have these claims further down south. We will begin the South Indian campaign. But until then, so long for now.